Welcome to GCE 208, Guidance and Counseling, Study Session 1. Introduction. Having some background knowledge to human growth and development and the different stages that a child goes through while growing up is an essential factor in the study of these courses. These stages are infancy, early childhood, adolescence, and early adulthood. This study session will introduce you to the definition of guidance and counseling, the differences between guidance and counseling, as well as the techniques involved in guidance and counseling. Learning outcomes from study session 1. At the end of this study session, you should be able to define guidance and counseling, highlight the differences between guidance and counseling, explain the techniques in guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling. Have you ever felt so bad or confused that you just need someone to talk to? Did you realize you did not just want to talk to anybody, but someone you could trust and who will understand? In such situation, you are looking for guidance and counseling from that person. Guidance and counseling promotes the personal or social, educational, and career development of students. Guidance and counseling is an interactive relationship that takes place between the counselor and the client. Guidance, in this sense, is a pervasive activity in which many persons and organizations take part. It is afforded to individuals by their parents, relatives, and friends, and by the community at large through various educational, industrial, social, religious, and political agencies, and particularly through the press and broadcasting services. Aims and objectives of guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling is needed whenever there is a problem. The aim and objective of guidance and counseling are as listed below. The discipline is to help in self-understanding and self-direction. Guidance and counseling will help develop a man to his optimal level. In tackling individual problems, guidance will be needed. Counseling is needed for academic growth and development. It will help in vocational maturity, vocational choices, and vocational adjustments. Social personal adjustments will always need guidance and counseling. Guidance and counseling will help in planning a better family life. If good citizenship is needed, guidance must be used. Guidance and counseling is needed for national development. Guidance. The word guidance is derived from the word guide, which simply means to direct on a course, to give instruction to, and to manage. In short, the word implies the showing of the way by someone who is very familiar with the course or the way. This definition is the layman's definition of guidance. Definition of guidance. Guidance can be defined as cognitive educational services that help people understand themselves, provided the client reveals accurate, reliable, and valid information about himself and his environment. However, based on the above definition, many people, particularly parents, teachers, principals, educational administrators, soothsayers, and the clergy, who are interested in guiding people, assume that they are practicing guidance and counseling. Guidance is often used interchangeably with counseling. However, in the first place, counseling is more than advice giving. Secondly, counseling involves something more than a solution to an immediate problem. Counseling. In the opinion of Warner 1965, in a very conscious way, the counselor also attempts to assist the counselee in recognizing the process he is going through in the learning, so that he will be better able to carry on the process himself in making future decisions. This is why Warner calls counseling personalized learning. Examples abound to buttress this point. For example, if a person having some problems visits an Ifa oracle, the Ifa oracle will tell the person, maybe by trial and error process, the cause of the problems and what he should do to solve them. Secondly, if a troubled individual visits a clergyman, the latter will cite passages from the Bible and he will mention Job, David, Anna, and Solomon as biblical figures that experienced difficulties but succeeded at last. Counseling is a process of helping or assisting individuals or group of people to gain self-understanding in order to be themselves. It is a professional relationship between a trained counselor and a client. Definition of counseling. Counseling can be defined as a process designed to help clients understand and clarify personal views of their life space and to learn to reach their self-determined goals through meaningful, well-informed choices and the resolution of problems of an emotional or interpersonal nature. It believes that every human individual has the potential for self-growth, self-development and self-actualization. In the opinion of Warner, 1965, in a very conscious way, the counselor also attempts to assist the counselee in recognizing the process he is going through in the learning so that he will be better able to carry on the process himself in making future decisions. This is why Warner calls counseling personalized learning. Examples are bound to buttress this point. For example, if a person having some problems visits an Ifa Oreku, that is Babalawo, the Ifa Oreku will tell the person, maybe by trial and error process, the cause of the problems and what he should do to solve them. Secondly, if a troubled individual visits a clergyman, the latter will cite passages from the Bible and he will mention Job, David, Anna, and Solomon as biblical figures that experienced difficulties but succeeded at last. Types of counseling. There are two major types of counseling, namely individual counseling. Individual counseling can be said to be a one-to-one counseling. It ensues between the professionally trained counselor and his client. The aim and objective of this is to help the client to understand himself, clarify and direct his thoughts in order to make a meaningful decision. Group counseling. This is a counseling session that takes place between the professionally trained counselor and a group of people. Number of this group should not be more than 7 or at least 10 in order to have a cohesive group and an effective, well-controlled counseling session. During group counseling, a free atmosphere is allowed and freedom of speech is encouraged. The responsibility of the counselor during group counseling is to help remove the marks covering the problem. He helps open up the problem with the professional competence and knowledge he possesses. The counselor is not just a member of the group, he is to direct the affairs and situations. Adjustment function. Guidance and counseling help the students in making the best possible correction to the current situation in the educational institution, in the home and the community. It facilitates the student to accept the things which they cannot change in life and distinguish what they can change and cannot change in life. Guidance and counseling can help the counselee to adjust to the self and environment in a dynamic and constructive way. Orientation function. Guidance and counseling position the student in the problem of career planning, educational programming and direction towards long-term personal aims and values. Development function. Guidance and counseling is concerned with helping the people to achieve self-development, self-actualization and self-realization. Preventive functions. The counselor's efforts to continuously anticipate any problems that might occur and attempt to prevent it so that it's not experienced by the counselee. Adaptation functions. This function assists the implementers of education, head of school, madrasa and staff, counselors and teachers to tailor educational programs to educational background interests, abilities and needs of counselees. Maintenance functions. These functions facilitate the counselee to avoid conditions that would cause a decrease in productivity alone. This function is realized through the implementation of programs that are interesting, recreative and facultative in accordance with the interests counselee. Differences between guidance and counseling. Some experts, in most circumstances, find it difficult to distinguish between the guidance and counseling. The table below shows some differences between the two terms. Summary for study session 1. In study session 1, you have learnt that guidance can be described as both a concept and a process. It is a concept because of its concern with the finest development of the person. It is a process because it helps the individual to understand himself and direct himself. Counseling is a process designed to help clients understand and clarify personal views of their life space and to learn to reach their self-determined goals through meaningful, well-informed choices, and a resolution of problems of an emotional or interpersonal nature. The aim and objective of guidance and counseling include: the discipline is to help in self-understanding and self-direction. Guidance and counseling will help develop a man to his optimal level. In tackling individual problems, guidance will be needed. The technique in guidance and counseling include listening, restatement, and clarification. We have come to the end of study session 1. Thanks for listening.